You want to help me?
Yes.
Go to that school and get the fuck up out of here.
You could have sent me to live with grandmoms a long time ago. Schools out there is safe, it's good. But you ain't do that. You kept me right here next to you. Cause this is all we got. I'm here because you wanted me here. For real, you need to make up your mind.
What do you want from me, Tariq? Huh? What do you want from me, boy?
Teach me the motherfucking game, Ghost.
You listen to me. I would fucking rather kill than to let you into this life.
All right, y'all looking at the title, y'all looking at the thumbnail, y'all know what I'm about to talk about. Now, I was originally supposed to release like the store this month, but I fucked up. I looked at the thing and I said, oh shit, like it's technically supposed to be 2,000. So I'm like, all right, but we getting there eventually. So once when we hit like 2,000 subscribers, then I will be able to release the store, but just gonna have to be patient and wait. So for today's video and topic is gonna be, is Raquel the worse parent than Ghost? So I mean, Power Book 3 Raising Kanan Season 2 is technically almost done, because I guess we're going to have like maybe like 2 more episodes, and then I guess it's going to wrap up everything. And so far, from what we've seen in the last episode where Raquel basically spit in the face of Sal, it's just like, you know, I don't give a fuck, and it's just a full, going to be an all-out war and stuff, right?
Full due respect, my brother, he ain't gonna pay for your son's fuck up. Universe I'm from, it got laws too. On the south side, we pay what we owe. And me and my brother, we don't owe you shit.
So, when you think about, like I said, between like Ghost and like Raquel, there's quite a few similarities, right? There's a lot of similarities, but the one thing that I really wanted to discuss about is like when it comes down to like between Tariq and Kanan. Now, I understand there's gonna be some peoples out there who's like, on the offense of like, well, they still like Tariq's character, and some people feel that it's really justified of why Tariq killed Ghost. And when you look at Raising Kanan, when you really look at Raising Kanan, I don't really think Tariq had that. I don't think it should have been Tariq's like call to do that, because when you look at Raquel's case, Raquel had Kanan's best friend killed. If this was Ghost's situation, Ghost would have had D-Wiz like, okay, you can't be in Queens anymore. I'm gonna give you some money and you're gonna have to leave town. The way he almost tried to do with Sean when Sean attempted to take his life, and he was like, you're not built for this, so you need to leave town. I think it would have been that way, but Raquel went with the alternative where she was like, okay, I'm gonna have to kill you. Don't tell you about it until way later on in episode or in season 1 about, well, yeah, I had your man killed because of what he did. So I'm like, okay, that was fucked up. And then the whole, you know, having him shoot his own father at the end, just completely like fucked up shit, right? Just completely fucked up shit. And I remember I did a poll about this, I guess like a month ago. Yeah, like roughly like over a month ago, I did a poll. And I was like, oh, like who is the worst between Raquel and Ghost? And y'all all said it. Y'all was like, yo, Raquel is the worst. And seeing all of this is like, it makes sense. Now, as I said in the last in my review, that Raquel only earns points because she only did one good thing, and that was basically having Kanan not see Palomar anymore. Because, you know, Palomar, she's an older woman, and, you know, he's still a child, so it's wrong. So I guess that's like the only one good thing that she did. Only one good thing comparing to like all of the other fucked up shit that she did, lying to him. I mean, the thing is, it's like when you look at Kanan's story, like his entire story, he was lied to the moment he was born. He was lied to the moment he was born because he was told ever since he was a child that DEFCON was his father. And the lie, basically like the generational lie of the Stark name, like his entire origins is a whole lie. That's like you growing up and you're believing a man that you've never met, I guess is either dead or in jail or whatever, but I think he's dead, I think, and never gonna see him again, to know that, yeah, he's his father. But when you look at it from his point of view and the things that he was being exposed to, and eventually learning the truth that Detective Howard is his father, you see things differently from Kanan, and you like, okay, you feel like more sympathy and more of an understanding as to why Kanan the way he is, and his potential maybe hints and spoilers that Kanan might actually kill his moms. He might actually kill his moms, and it would make perfect sense, and it would be justified as to why he did what he did. Now, when you look at Tariq's case, Ghost didn't have none of Tariq's friends killed. He didn't do anything that was considered to be bad, besides like cheating and leaving. That's it. That is it. Like, and then I guess the only failure you can kind of say from Ghost's part was him not taking out Kanan, but Kanan was family. Kanan taught him the streets. He taught him everything. So Kanan was essentially family. It was like everybody goes through that. Everybody goes through like a rough patch where they be fighting with their family, but eventually they'd be able to make it up. Now, I understand in some families, in some cases, there's a road that if a family member crosses that road, they may never ever return from. That's for some families, but in Ghost's case, it was like, okay, yeah, he raised them, taught them the streets and how to sell and do all this other things, but he just couldn't do it. He couldn't kill Kanan. He just couldn't do it. And it wasn't because Kanan had leverage over him. He didn't even have any leverage. He didn't have anything over him. He just couldn't do it because he was family. So that was like Ghost's only mistake. And from when you see in Tariq's case, Tariq, again, he didn't have enough merit to just go off and shouldn't have killed Ghost. And we're starting to see that, obviously, in Power Book 2, Raising Ghost, in Season 1 and 2. Well, yeah, mainly in Season 2, like, he's starting to, like, understand, like, okay, his drug game isn't working out, this and that, so he's gonna have to figure a way of coming out of the drug game. But the whole point of having him kill his own father, if you, like I say, if people who watch like Raising Kanan, now I understand like there are some people out there who don't watch Raising Kanan, and to those people, you're really missing like the bigger picture. Like you're really missing like the big story here, because okay, yeah, everyone likes like Power Book 2 Ghost because it's Tariq's story, Tariq St. Patrick, and it's like, yeah, you know, he killed his father. His father was this and that. His father was like the most evilest person you've ever met. But when you think about it, Ghost wasn't even that evil. You look at Raquel. Raquel is all types of fucked up. She is all types of fucked up. And I'm like, you know, I can't see Raquel being like, I don't know if she's ever, I don't even know if she's even going to survive. I don't know. I don't even know if she's even going to survive like this entire run of Raising Kanan. I don't even know at this point, because you know, you see Kanan's already thinking about some things. He's trying to figure a way of getting underneath his mom because she's lying to him. She's been lying to him his entire life. So he's going to have to figure a way of getting underneath her. And then he's going to have to do something eventually when him and Breeze get together. But even before that, he's going to have to figure out how is he going to take the streets from her, and how is he going to be able to like make it out of this. Because I know people out there who feel that, oh, you know, Raquel, she's not too bad because she has to do these things to toughen up Kanan. But when you think about it, Kanan was technically even screwed from the beginning. Like I said, not because, you know, besides from he was born, the day that he was born. But when you think about it, an episode, I think it was even 1 or 2, where, okay, yeah, Kanan was going to go off into like a different school, which she wanted for him to do. But at the same time, she wanted the streets, and he couldn't leave her because he was afraid that if he left her, then something bad was going to happen. But if you think about it like this, and I want everybody to think about it like this. I feel like Raquel technically manipulated Kanan. Technically manipulated him to stay without actually telling him. Now, yes, she wanted him to go. But when you think about it, she didn't push him enough. It was, I would like to say it was part guilt. Maybe part guilt, and then also maybe part manipulation, to not only to not have him go, but to keep him there with her. Because again, you want to keep the DEFCON Stark name alive. Yes, Raquel was the one to keep preaching that, but the son, what about the son of DEFCON? So the lie has to kind of get pushed out there that Kanan is DEFCON's son, so it's going to be Kanan's job to take over, because who else would do it? Now, obviously, the plan was for Lulu to do it, but since Lulu is, he all over the place, the only reasonable person to technically to do it would be Kanan. Kanan's job would be to take over, but in Rock's vision, and her little fucked up twisted vision would be like, since he's the son of DEFCON, is going to be under DEFCON's way, and we're going to keep pushing that out there to the streets. But as we know, none of that stuff ever got talked about in the original Power. DEFCON was not even mentioned anymore. It was more about what was currently going on, and obviously Kanan, and Kanan, because, you know, he ran the streets, but you never heard no more mentions about DEFCON. No mentions of, like, oh, who is this guy that used to run? You never heard any of that. Like, it was gone. It was dead and gone. So, you know, you have that, right? And then I go back to Tariq. It's like, Tariq to me didn't have that much merit. As I'm watching a lot of like Raising Kanan, Tariq didn't have that much merit. To go off to kill Ghost, he didn't have that much merit. Now, like I said, I understand they did it for the shock value, for the ratings. I understand, but he didn't have enough merit or enough juice to kill Ghost, or enough reasons to do it. I can see if Ghost was like, all right, you know, I'm gonna have your friends killed. I'm gonna try to convince you to kill your mama. You know, all this stuff. Him shutting down his little business, his little drug business that taking the drugs back from him and shutting down any sort of operation he tried to do. That wasn't enough. And even when he like put his hands on Tasha, still not enough. I mean, it's something, but it's not enough. It's not enough to like actually go out and to kill the man. Still not enough, because Tariq's own mistakes was him trying to become a man. Okay, he had Kanan killed, and then he got his sister killed. He thought he was a man. He was trying to become a man before his own time. So technically, most of the blame is on Tariq. It's not so much on Ghost, but it was mainly, majority of the blame was on Tariq, because he thought he was a man and he thought he knew what he was doing. And remember when that he was rolling with, I think it was what was his name? I think Ray and I think Brains, when they ran up into that place, that robbery, and I think they shot and killed the woman, and he was technically responsible. So Tariq's fucked up choices, he was majority responsible over. When you look at Kanan's case, he's not really responsible for that much. He's not really like guilt. Only he's mainly responsible, if you want to blame his guilt, because he didn't want to leave his mom, so he chose to not go to that fancy school. He chose to stay in Queens. Okay, you can say it's guilt, right? And then everything else between that, what was he really doing? He was learning, but he wasn't really learning. He was fucking up along the way. So it's like he was still there. Like I said, he was still learning. And then into season 2, I mean, again, he's kind of like thrown into the wind. Yes, he finally learned the truth, but he was thrown into the wind. So it's like Kanan was screwed. Kanan is out, literally still is fighting for his life and trying to figure out what he wants, rather than Tariq, where he was aware of his choices and he fucked up, compared to Kanan, where he wasn't aware. He kind of found out that, yeah, his father is a cop, so he was lied to most of his life. Now, the last argument I would say between Ghost basically telling like Tariq and Raina about, you know, didn't really tell him about like the backstory of like Queens and stuff. Now, that part, I wouldn't even consider that being bad, because he just didn't want to tell him that, you know, hey, we used to grow up in Queens. Queens was like a fucked up place to live in. He didn't want to tell him about that. And it's not like Tariq would have found anything, because Ghost was Ghost. So it's not like he was like, oh, let me go see. Like, anybody who knew of Ghost was either in jail or dead, from what Ghost was explaining. So that portion of him being lied to, no, That's not enough. That's not enough. No. When you look at Raquel's case, where she completely lied to him about everything, that's worse. So when it comes down to being like who's like worse, Raquel is worse. You know, let me know in the comments down below, like, do y'all still believe that out of everything that I just mentioned, Ghost is still worse than Raquel? Please, if I missed out on anything, y'all gotta have to tell me this. Or if some of y'all's agreed that Raquel is completely worse, she's gonna do even more fucked up things after this season, and Kanan's gonna have to make a decision. So let me know what you guys think about this discussion. You know, like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll catch you all in the next one.